Yes, I realize for the last 2 months I've said, oh, this will probably be my last book haul video by the month because I don't suspect I'll be getting that much more. But can't stop, won't stop, apparently. Hey, what's up, bookworms? Mike here with another book haul video for the month of November of 2019. I know last month I said it would probably be my last book haul video for a while, but it's a sickness. What can I say? So I got let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books. I got 7 books over the last month, and I kind of wanted to talk about each one. Not only why I decided to do it, but when I plan to read it, maybe. Something like that. If you have been not coming to the channel very often lately, you do know that I am doing a lot of Witcher content leading up to the show. I have only read the first 2 Witcher books, being Last Wish and Sword of Destiny. So I'm sorry, not even the first 2 books, but the first 2 short story collections that prelude those books. So I mentioned, I think it was last month, or it might have been the month before, where I'd gotten the first 3 of the main novels. Well, I completed that set. I went ahead and got Lady of the Lake and Tower of the Swallows. And why this is annoying to me is because it may not be to you, but it is to me. This Tower of the Swallows has a big old Netflix logo on it, and it bothers me because none of the other ones do. And for whatever reason, on the spine, it's just a little bit longer up here at the top. It's just, things like that just annoy the heck out of me. Why do that? Why change it? But anyway, I believe Season of Storms is the only one that I have left. If you guys could maybe drop in my comments that are real big Witcher fans, I know there's a lot of real big Witcher fans that come to the channel, that you guys, maybe you could tell me, is that something that I need to have? Is that something that is just kind of supplemental? Is that something that actually like has good story points or not? Knowing me, I'll probably get it anyway just to complete it if they have these matching US covers, because I'd like them all to match. But definitely, I wanted to go ahead and get all these before the show broke, because I already felt like they were kind of price gouged on them a little bit. And if the show's as big a hit as they are predicting it's going to be, and the early reviews are saying it's going to be, then I want to go ahead and get those kind of crossed off my list now. So I went ahead and got those, and I can't wait to get back into it. I should be probably starting Blood of Elves here at this point, probably before Christmas. I don't know. It depends. I might just be so high off binge watching the show that I just like, I gotta have some more, and I'll start reading Blood of Elves, especially if they're gonna be pulling stuff forward from Blood of Elves into the series. But again, you can watch the Witcher video where I talked about they released the episode titles and stuff. I did that right here where I was talking about what stories I think they're gonna be pulling from Last Wish and Sword of Destiny, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited to talk about it. Next up is something I've talked about on the channel before. It was a series that's either I think it was I wanted to read. It was 13 series that I recommended, series that I want to read. I'll put it up here in case you missed it. And one of those was his Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. And this is obviously a very, very popular series. This show is on HBO right now. This has been on my radar for probably 15 years. I've actually owned the paperback copies before this, and I trade those in to upgrade this version here, which has the the full trilogy on it in hardcover. Very, very handsome cover. Got the cool little. Yeah. Anyways, I get distracted just looking at some of these things, how pretty they are. I actually had planned to read that series years ago when me and my wife were dating, and she picked up the series. She's like, "Well, if you're not going to read, do you mind if I go?" No, go ahead and read it. It's on my TBR list. And she read the first book, Golden Compass, and she loved it. Subtle Knife, she read pretty quick. Didn't like as much the first one, but still liked where it was going. She DNF'd this series with 30 pages left in Amber Spyglass. And I, to this day, have been like, what in the world? What could be so bad that you stop that close to the finish line? So that's kind of leading me towards reading. But I'm going to do a why I decided to read on that when I get closer. And I'll actually get more into detail with that. But it seems usually universally panned by the fandom. Even people who adore these books, that Amber Spyglass is quite the letdown. But I do want to read it before I start watching the show on HBO. I've heard very good things about it. I'm a big-time James McAvoy fan, so I want to watch it, if anything, just for that. But yeah, again, it gives me a reason to go ahead and read this, something that I put off for quite a while, just based off of my wife's feedback. Next one, these are something that I was very, very excited about. If I have the story incorrect on this, please forgive me. It's what I've been told. I don't know if it's exactly accurate, But what I was always told is when these Expanse books were coming out, that I would say maybe the publisher didn't quite believe in them. They weren't super confident in them, so they never gave the first 3 books hardcover releases. So when Amazon acquired the rights, they said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get the first 3 put out in hardcover for the first time. So I had to go ahead and pick up Leviathan Wakes. These covers are so nice. Caliban's War, that's book 2. I love the art. I feel like it's very like Isaac Asimov or something like that. It really, really makes me think of that. And of course, book 3 is Abaddon's Gate, which I'll be reading early 2020. That's the plan. What I said was I was reading these books. Once the show came out and I got really hooked on it, I read books 1 and 2 real fast. And then when I was watching season 2, I was like, okay, I feel like I'm just kind of killing all the surprises on the show. So whereas I usually want to read a book before the adaptation, with this, the twists and turns in this series are so good that I was like, no, I want to kind of experience them on the show. Then I'll go back and read it. So with season 4 of The Expanse dropping on Amazon Prime here next month, which is going to cover book 4, and I'm going to read books 3 and 4 kind of back to back after that, so I can be. I want to stay with the show, but definitely not ahead of the show, because I feel like there's so much good stuff that happens in that show, and definitely going to be doing a series on these books very soon, because as good as the show is, the books are even better. I mean, it's really, you can't say enough about it. And if you don't know, James S.A. Corey is kind of a team up between Daniel Abraham and Ty Frank, 2 different authors, and they together they write these books and just go by the pen name James S.A. Corey. And Daniel Abraham is someone who's actually been on my radar for a while to read The Long Price Quartet and Dagger and the Coin, which is apparently a really under the radar fantasy series. It's really well done. So if that series is anything like he's done, Daniel Abraham has done in the Expanse books, I look forward to that one day. And I mentioned that on my series I'd like to read video. And last up, certainly not least, if you guys don't know by now, I'm a huge Tolkien fan. I will never ever say any fantasy series is better than Lord of the Rings, because I feel like that's the one that I cut my teeth on. That's the one that's the most dear to me, and I feel like that's the one that has always just lasted. Whereas kind of like all the people that are like super just into Wheel of Time, that was me with Lord of the Rings. And I feel like after the movies came out and it got a bunch of new fans, and it seemed like the fandom kind of got tempered after the Hobbit trilogy came out. It was kind of a disappointment. If you like those, it's great. It was kind of a disappointment. A lot not to his fault, a lot to this movie studio's fault, but that's a discussion for another time. But leading up to the Amazon series, if you know, I'm doing a lot of Witcher and Wheel of Time content pertaining to the adaptations that are coming soon. I will definitely be doing the same with Lord of the Rings on Amazon when it starts getting a little closer. So I started doing some of my research, and I can't pass up a really good Art of Tolkien kind of book. So I saw this at Sam's Club the other day, and I had to. Just really, really amazing artwork in these things. I mean, it's just the most incredible universe, guys. I don't think anything will ever touch this for me. And just, you have these images in your own mind's eye, you know, but then you see some of this artwork, and you see that everyone kind of had a different vision for what Lord of the Rings was. And I think that's what really made it special, you know. There was other fantasy worlds that have been really just fleshed out and everlasting. And I know a lot of people out there, especially, I don't want to sound like that old guy saying get off my lawn here, but you know, there are these younger booktubers, younger than me out there, who say stuff like, well, Lord of the Rings, yeah, I appreciate its place in the history of the genre, but it's kind of aged out. I think that's bullshit. And I disagree. I think that it is just the perfect journey story of brotherhood and friendship, and just, you know, there and back again. I can't use a better phrase than that. It's just so incredible, starting with The Hobbit, ending with Return of the King. It's such a fun ride, and I look forward to getting into, you know, stuff that wasn't in these books for the TV show, because it's, you know, the movies all in the books all take place in the Third Age, whereas the TV show is going to be taking place in the Second Age. Not counting Silmarillion, obviously. I'm just talking about Hobbit, Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, and Return of the King. That's what I'm talking about here. You're going to be going in the Second Age, and this is the first time we're going to see this kind of stuff adapted. I'm so glad they did that. I'm so glad. Basically, we're talking about like 3,000 years before Frodo here. So this is going to be a lot of new material. I've read the appendices. I've read the Silmarillion. So I don't know those like the back of my hand like I might know the other books. So I'm looking forward to researching that stuff and talking about it leading up to the release of the show. So there will be lots of Lord of the Rings on Prime coverage on this channel. So I hope you guys are as excited for it as I am. Dude, we're going to be getting Lord of the Rings, Wheel of Time, and Witcher all within the next couple years on TV. It's a great time. It's a great time to be a fan of fantasy and science fiction literature. I'm just pumped about this, and the Expanse is coming back. Everything I've just mentioned here is getting adapted to television or movies. You got the Expanse, you got Lord of the Rings, you got His Dark Materials, you got The Witcher. That's awesome, man. We're getting all these adapted television. It's a great time. It's the best time. How can we not be excited about this? We're finally getting to see a lot of these things, and you know what? If we're lucky, 1 out of 2 might be really, really good. So, like I've said before, put up that wall of optimism, it's cautious optimism, and say there's been more bad attempts at adapting fantasy than there has been good ones. So hopefully 1 or 2 of these can be really, really great ones. But that's kind of driving my book purchases at the moment. But I really do think I'll be done this time. I don't think that there's anything huge on my list that I want to do. I want to keep continuing to get these Expanse books. What I plan to do is to buy one of those every time I'm going to read one because they are not cheap. The whole reason I bought these is because it was a first printing, and I have a feeling